What's going on today, guys? So it is another beautiful day in the middle of winter, oddly enough, and today we need to finish up working on the suspension. So big things that we need to get done today. We gotta get a lot of stuff done today. We need to get these control arms out, these control arms out. We need to drop this. We need to drop that tank because we're replacing it. To be honest, we really need to finish cutting the hole in the trunk for the new lid. So we have a ton of stuff to get done today, as well as ideally we are going to get this situation figured out. I think I am going to change the ball joints. If I change the ball joints, I can put all of that back together. So that should be pretty good. And then really the only other thing that really needs to be done prior to us starting to work on the motor is going to be the brake lines. I don't even think the fuel lines really need to be touched before the motor goes back in the car. So then we'll be adjusting timing. We did get the heads done. You guys did see that. So really, I mean, we don't have a whole lot left holding us to put all this stuff back together in the car. So we're going to get working on this just because I anticipate that the control arms, what's remaining of the control arms in the car, are going to be very difficult to remove. So, but first I'd really like to drop that gas tank, get that completely gone out of the way. We've got a brand new gas tank, brand new fuel pump. I actually bought an upgraded fuel pump too, in case the car needs more fuel than what the factory pump is. Even though I doubt that it will, I still have it just in case. So we're gonna get cruising on this. From there, we're probably also going to finish up on the rear end, which I know is a separate video, but you guys get to see that now. We will get cruising on finishing up the rear end. We got to press in spherical bushings, as well as get the spider gears back in line and replace the bearings and seals and the exterior. So thankfully we don't have a lot of obstacles left, but we do need to get this tank out. We do need to get those control arms out. Once that stuff's out, potentially might pull the brake lines for the rear, because I know that those were pretty rough from what I recall. But beyond that, we're pretty much ready for reassembly. So we're gonna get cruising, we're gonna get working, and hopefully you guys enjoy the show. Okay, so now we want to use this as an access door. So what I need to do is I actually need to trace this whole piece. Move this out of the way. That'll be our cutting apparatus. Now that we have all the fuel stuff removed, so all we have to do with this is simply trace right around. So we're gonna go right here. And really you wanna kind of be careful so that it doesn't crinkle like that. So we could also take the dimensions, but I just want to make a simple template. It'll be really easy once it's made. So let's see. Yep. So that's fine right there. That's fine right there. Okay, cool. So now that's made, let's set the actual door aside. And all we're gonna do, just take a pair of scissors, okay, and just real quickly etch around. So, just like that, we're going to double check it. And say, okay. So, if we put it in the back corner, we can trim actually a pretty fair amount of this off. So it can go right here. So, okay, so we still have a little bit of a lip. This down here is good, but this up here still can come about another ½ inch. Okay, this one shot. Okay, it's just about the size that we need it to be, so that's gonna work. All right, so again, we're gonna move this out of here because we need to essentially define what needs to be cut. So that's decent right there. And what we might do, because this is pretty much right there at the edge, we just need to make sure, because I think that right up here is the other pinch weld, so we might have to go just a touch. I think it's got to be real close, but we should, oh, okay, actually, you know what? No, this is just this stupid thing. Yep, okay, now we got a little bit more room. Okay, so we're gonna cut a little bit. Don't forget, I actually didn't cut the original hole. That was actually already in here, so really we're just cleaning up the work of the previous owner. So, keep going. I just want to double check that. Yep. So this, unfortunately, just with the size, the total size, it is going to overhang just a touch over here. I'm going to change the blade real quick. Check. Okay. Everything's good up there. I feel like we're going to be in good shape. So now we just need to come up here. Looks like pretty much to that white line, maybe a little bit more, but we just need to come all the way up here and we should be okay. I'm still nervous about this, but I think it'll be all right. So, this is the only thing we were nervous about, is this, and it feels like, I'm not sure if we're running into an issue here. Definitely running into an issue here. So we could always pivot it slightly and come over here, which we might have to do. So let's do that. Okay. So, yep, right there. Ooh, it's gonna be close. Because if we do right here, okay. So, I think this is okay clearance-wise here. So really it's just this line right up here. Okay. Boom. There we go. So, now that that's all in, this will just simply close like that. We'll be in good shape. So all I'm gonna really do real quick is probably scuff this inner piece right here, but then we're going to just very quickly shoot some paint in here, probably let it dry for a little bit, then come back with this portion and probably take like some caulk or something. I've got a bunch of RTV too. Okay, so for the next part, while this is drying, I just set this in here just like that, just to let it sit. I'm going to put on some PPE, as you kind of see, and I'm going to go through and use compressed air and spray out all the gross spider webs that are underneath in the chassis, and then I'm going to hit it up with more of that primer just to start to alleviate some of the rusting issues. Obviously, this isn't going to fully mitigate the rust. However, in my experience, it does help quite a bit. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to set you guys back so you don't get too much paint on the camera. I already have some speckles in the lens. But we'll come back to this probably in about 20-25 minutes. Perfect. Okay, so now that we've got this done, we just need to come back over here, back to our hole, and get it all buttoned up. So we're just gonna grab our piece here. I did get a little bit of paint on there, but that's okay. I'm just gonna be using some caulk here because I don't really care. This is just a, I mean, this is a hack fix. Like you can use a whole bunch of different things. In this instance, it's not gonna matter for what we have going on. So I'm just going to use what I have already in the gun. That should be fine right there. So there it is, closed. Now it's locked. Open. Now I do notice that I've got a little bit of light right here, so that's something I'll have to deal with a little bit later on. Might have to make a patch panel for this whole back piece anyways. But as far as this goes, this part is done. The cool thing about this, the caulk that we happen to have in the gun already, is that it is immediately paintable. So I will just hit this whole area up with some black paint just to clean it up just a touch, and then it's good to go. All right, so moving back underneath the car, we're going to remove the ABS sensor. This just should pop out just like this right here. Okay. So this works out because I have to change these anyways. So just toss that over there out of the way. We're going to put this bolt back in here just to make sure. Okay, so for this one, we're going to be using a 3/8 drill bit, and from what I can tell, it shouldn't be an issue, being that we're convertible. I still was not super sure about what the issue with the convertibles were, but you know what? I digress. It does not matter apparently. So, easiest way to look at this is the angled area right here. Okay, will be towards the back of the car. So when I say angle, you see the angle right here. Okay, that's because it's going to be like this. This is actually the lower control arm bolt. So let's see if we can get this in here to work. If not, I'll just look like a big dummy. Okay, so I took a couple minutes real quick because I wanted to throw some paint in there because I was starting to get a little bit more worried. My torque boxes right here are a little bent, which is very common on these cars, but I was running into, basically like this issue pretty much right here, where I can't get it to go in like nicely. So I end up working it back and forth because we need to get this hole that side right like there. Come on. So, I have a feeling that I just need to smack it in. Let's see. Need this to rotate. very close. Yep. There it is. So, like I said, I thought that this was going to end up being something like this, where it's not, basically because of how tight everything is, it wasn't going to fit perfectly. So I'm glad that I was right, that I just need to patch it in. I did end up just taking some channel locks right along the edge right here and just bent things out just a touch to be able to get that in there. So I need to go and get the lower control arm for this side, which is actually going to be a tubular one, to be able to get this to center. And then once we get everything centered, from there I'm actually going to turn around and I need to drill 4 holes that I should be able to access from the top over there. So let's see. And again, you just use the hole right here. You use the lower control arm mounting bolt hole, which this does line up perfectly with, so that's a very good thing. And that goes right there. So I am going to have to relocate the ABS wire. I did notice that. But that's not really a big deal, or at least it's not a big concern as of mine right now. I'd much rather have the chassis strength than ABS. So I am going to grab the lower control arms, and I also do need to grease them with silicone grease because they are a silicone design, and we can get this all fitted up, hopefully pretty easily. Okay, so this is going to get a little complex before it gets a little easier. So, since we're doing a couple of different things at once, this is the new lower control arm bolts. Okay, I am going to put a dab of anti-seize on the collar of the bolt, not the actual threads, just the collar. Okay. The reason why I'm doing this is exactly where all of them love to rust, is directly on the collar itself. So, from there, we are going to grab our new tubular control arm bolts. Okay, now be careful because anti-seize does go everywhere if you are doing all of this at once, if you're a madman like me. So, the spring perches should go rearward, because we're going to be sitting right about here. So, the other thing that I was mentioning, we need, since these are all polyurethane bushings, okay, we need to take a dab of oh, whoop, that is way more than a dab. Okay, this stuff's kind of expensive. So, we are just going to take a dab of silicone grease just like this, and we are going to basically coat the bushing itself in silicone grease. That will prevent it really from squeaking or anything of the like. Now with this, basically they only tell you to lightly install it. However, I think once this bolt is in there, we're pretty much going to leave these in. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this all nice and prepped and ready to go. So the bolt comes from the inside of the car to the outside. So let me move this right here, slightly out of the way. Oh man, working with a lot of different greases right now, so should be just something like this here. Come on. Yep, this is to be expected. Oh boy, hopefully we're not jacking it up too much, but you guys can see I can't. So, I'm going to grab a mallet. Thankfully, not a big deal. But all right. So now, not to change it up too much. Now, since we are already underneath the car, we already have all the drill bits out, we need to do the uppers. So, rotate slightly. Now, I believe this is the one that they're saying that the upper reinforcements won't work on the other side. However, from everything I've seen, I don't see why not. Unless just the ones I ordered are different than like the videos I've watched, because this one, I mean, I was test fitting it just like this right here. Hold on a minute. I was test fitting it just like this right here, and I had like no issues at all. It actually, like, it fits right, like, without any issues. So just like that right there, and then it should bend slightly once we put the bolts in. But it was saying to, it was saying you need to drill 2 3/8 ones. You need to do 2 halves, and the halves need to go straight up. So we'll do straight up first, since we already have that one in. And that. Oh, yeah, we're close. It's not close enough, fortunately, but this bracket will bend at least a touch. So this is going to bend up here for sure, because that's right where it's at. So let me grab the hardware, because we'll try to get this started. I might be able to hang it. Just oh, okay. You know, we got to open those up. All right, let's go up top. Okay, this is the opposite side. I put a 1/2 inch drill bit in now. These are supposedly ones that don't fit, and I'm wondering if it's because of this, but it's not a problem. We can very easily remove those. Is it time? An 11. Go. Okay, so this should sit just like this. Okay, and then this should bend a bit more as we go on, but now I need to feed up 2 bolts through the floor. Just like that right there. So more than likely why they say you can't is obviously the much more extreme angle here, but I mean, realistically, worst case, we hammer this flat, it's not really a big deal in the long run. So this should be an 18. Not a big deal, we'll get that figured out. Really not too concerned. Okay, and then additionally over here is all of the little bolt holes that we just drilled for our sandwich plate for the lower. So this was our little accident that'll happen. Here's this plate. I am told that they are not side specific, and they are not. Perfect. And I'll just hit this up one more time once we've permanently installed. But what I'm going to do real quick is I am going to push all these bolts through real fast. Back underneath the car, we need to drill out these two holes now. So these will be going underneath. I've already switched back to the 3/8 bit. We'll grab our last two bolts. Now unfortunately this isn't going to be just like the sandwich plate, because now we have to go up top and then drill again separately the top plate. So just getting these two at least in, just like that right there, so we can rotate to the top and take a look. Okay, so now we're going to take this plate back off again. Your bolts may fall, just keep that in mind. Looks like that one's actually a little bit caught. Okay, it's a little strange, but whatever. We'll get it off. There we go. Just like I thought. So, we're going to just simply slide this off. You can see where the bolts are. Right there. So, looks like the other one may have already fallen out. That's okay. So, basically they tell you that you can see pretty much where it is. Let's see here. Okay. So, pulling this off one more time. Let's see. Okay. It's more or less in line, basically, with what we got going on here. I started to see a little bit right there, so worst case I'll drill two holes. We'll see if that works, and then we'll come back. Okay, I went and drilled some holes. I think we're close. I had to wallow one of them. Let's see. There's one, and the other one should push through. However, what I'm going to do real quick, I also threw this in my vise real fast and just gave it a more aggressive bend, which should just allow it to confirm more. Once these are all bolted in, I'll smash this flat and it should be totally good. Okay, the very last thing, we're going to let that dry for a second. While we're doing that, we're going to lube up this one. Well, that's going to do it for tonight. So we do have the torque boxes all in, all the reinforcements. We've repainted everything. Oh, sorry for the super bright light. But as you can see, we also have all of the new tubular control arms in. And of course, all of the reinforcements on the bottom side. So I'm very glad that I decided to do the tubular control arms and the reinforcements at the same time, since you have to remove them anyways. So it's really nice to just be in there once, done with it. All of the bolts are anti-seized, all of the bushings are silicone greased, so we're in really good shape. We still have some subframe mounts over here. I have some more subframe mounts over there, but as you kind of saw, the one frame rail is a little bit crusty, so we might box that in. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely. I need to see how the car acts first. Because obviously if it starts creaking or it's unsafe, we got to fix it. So it's not a huge deal. But also, and unfortunately it's already covered up a little bit, but we also got this one done and the fuel tank out. So fuel tank's out is huge. I'm going to have to order more. These are called a J-nut, I guess. I ordered some, or I should say I bought some speed nuts at a local hardware store. Unfortunately, they're too short. So I'm going to have to order the special ones for the Mustang, and you need 3 of them because we only snapped one of them, but you need 3 of them. So I'll just order it, be done with it, then we're never going to have to worry about this problem ever again. So, but cool. Well, thanks for joining me today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the pure wrench session. Overall, I would say this was really not bad. You guys have seen how rusty this car is underneath. I probably have swept up 10 gallons worth of rust and dirt and grime. It's all came off, but we got everything painted on the other side. Also behind the scenes, Sammy is on the inside cleaning up some of the valve covers, cleaning up the throttle body. Everything looks really, really good. So we're gonna go ahead and get the suspension all buttoned up on this tomorrow. Rear end will be back in the car. Ideally, even the front end suspension will be all put back together. And really at that point, we can slam in the interior, but really we're ready for motor and trans. So I did have to double check a couple things on the motor today on there, as far as I was going to see if we can reuse, we can use a different valve, timing cover, but unfortunately we cannot. So that's not a huge deal, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So this thing is coming along swimmingly. I'm going to keep absolutely plowing through everything this week, and hopefully we can get it fired up and running kind of soon. That would be kind of cool. So we should have everything for the fuel system. I still need to make up fuel lines. The only thing I do have to still go to the store and get is brake line, because a lot of the brake line is rotted. So I have it cut to about halfway up the car, so at least we can plumb the whole back end of the system. The Cobra brackets will be in tomorrow. Those are the things that we were test fitting that we realized we had the wrong ones. So as soon as those Cobra brackets come in, I think we have everything for the rear end then, beyond like some fluid. So we're in really good shape to start really getting everything progressively moving forward. As soon as I get the front end all put back together, I mean, we're pretty much there. So thanks for joining me again today, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know. I know it's rusty. I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of people that really don't like seeing a boat hatch in the back of a Mustang, considering it's not a Charger or a Challenger for that matter. But with that being said, I did this on my old Mustang too, my 96. It was kind of the same situation, kind of rotten, and it made just life so much easier because fuel pump died after I had already made it, which made it a nice, easy access. So we'll go from there. We're going to switch it all up to AN line. I don't know if I told you guys that yet or not, but we're going to do AN line, and yeah. So we're gonna keep ripping through this. Hopefully we can get this car together here in the next couple weeks and start test driving it. So because we need to get working on the Ranger, I need to do some stuff on the Lincoln. We need to get working on that Suburban. The motor, or I'm sorry, the ECU and the harness came in, and we have the cam in. So I mean, really, we've got projects backing up. We need to get this thing done. So like I said, thanks for joining us again tonight, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Catch you guys in the next one.